All right, back for another beer review, and today I'm reviewing a collaboration beer between the Finback Brewery out of Queens, New York, and the Zagovor Brewery out of Moscow, Russia, and this is their Connect the Dots. So they're calling this a double IPA that is brewed with watermelon and lactose, comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in the time of review. This beer is just under 5 weeks old. So on the can here, they say double IPA with lactose, dry hopped with Citra, Blanc, I think that's Hallertau Blanc, and El Dorado, finished with watermelon, brewed in collaboration with Zagovor. Never heard about Zagovor, but when I saw this, I was like, double IPA with watermelon? Yeah, sign me up. So I've been reviewing a lot of beers from Finback on the channel lately. And the funny thing is they really don't get distribution in the Western New York area. More often than not, some bottle shops around here will actually drive downstate to Hudson Valley area and New York City, and they'll come back with a bunch of different beers from breweries in that area. And more often than not, like I said, Finback is one of the breweries that always shows up. And when I see them on the shelves, I pick them up. And that's because over probably the last half year or so, maybe last year, I really have been digging what Finback has been doing. So yeah, don't know how many more I'm going to review this year, but I'm sure it's going to be a decent amount. Anyway, let's give it a pour. So like I said, I've never heard of Zagovor. In fact, I didn't know this was a collaboration until I looked at the actual can, and I was like, oh, collaboration. And then figured out they were a brewery in Moscow, Russia. So that pours out, again, on camera. Not sure how it's going to look, but this pours out this really vibrant orange color, straight up orange color. Definitely in the New England style realm. About a finger and a half of this very I would say, yeah, soapy looking head to it. It's very big bubbles, small bubbles, but it has a soapy look to the head. Not creamy like so many of these, but yeah, it looks fine. Let's get a nose. Yeah, it smells like a really nice, well-made IPA in the New England style. I'm actually picking up on that lactose a little bit of vanilla kick to it. Outside of that, a little bit of like a honeydew melon, pineapple peach. Yeah, really not picking up on that watermelon at all. That's not existent in the nose. The thing about watermelon, though, in general, is usually when I have watermelon in any kind of beer, it comes off as that candied Jolly Rancher watermelon. I've only had a few beers where it's like authentic watermelon that's like refreshing, and you can just tell it's like actual watermelon juice or just watermelon in general. So many breweries will just put that candied, extract watermelon in, and you can tell right away, candied watermelon. 100%. This one doesn't have that nose of candy watermelon. So is that a good thing? I guess because there is no watermelon in this one, but I'm hoping that on the taste there is. So let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. They used real watermelon. They had to use real watermelon. Oh man, that's... Fuck, is that delightful. That is delightful. So refreshing. Yeah, the watermelon hit me up front. It's omnipresent throughout the palate. But the one thing I worried about this beer was, is the double IPA. Is the IPA portion of the show going to be lost in this? And it's not. I'm getting the peach and pineapple, a little bit of honeydew melon. There's actually a substantial dankness to this one too, like straight up cannabis, the marijuana. The body for 8% is like lower side of medium body, so it's a bit thinner than I would want from this beer, but I mentioned this before as well. When it comes to double and triple IPAs, if it can drink as far as the body is concerned, like in the 6, 7, 8 range, I'm into it. This one 8% is drinking like it's 6. I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. The mouthfeel itself, they're probably using flaked oats in addition to lactose. It has a nice soft and smooth character to it. It's not creamy or pillowy or luscious or anything, or fluffy as Matt over at Massive Beer Reviews like to say. It just has a nice softness to the mouthfeel. The carbonation's like lower side of medium carbonation. So let's say between mild and moderate carbonation. But yeah, that watermelon's so nice. It's almost like you bit into a watermelon, but closer to the rind, the white part, not necessarily the rind, but the white part of the watermelon. So it has more of like just not a full-on sweet watermelon component, but it has a watermelon character. It's like watermelon, like stripped of the sweetness. Not completely stripped of the sweetness, but most of it. Man, Finback does it again for me. For me personally, I don't find a ton of straight up double IPA specifically refreshing. IPAs and double IPAs, they can be refreshing at times, but it's not like drinking like a lager or like something that's just, as a lot of people say, including myself, something that's crushable. But this one is approaching that level for me. This is, dare I say, crushable, quaffable, whatever word you want to use. It's refreshing. That watermelon brings a refreshing essence to the beer that without it, I think it would be a good double IPA, but with it, it just brings a nuance and a different character that just makes it so much more enjoyable for me. So, connect the dots, collaboration between Finback and Zagovor. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. This is fucking really tasty. This is delicious. If this is still on the shelf when I post it, which will probably be like 6 weeks since its release, if you see this anywhere that Finback gets distribution, if you can get your hands on it and you like watermelon, give it a go. It's authentic watermelon. It's not Jolly Rancher watermelon. It's something that not many breweries, in my opinion, from what I've tried, pull off well. And Finback, I think, did a great job with this one. I really just dig it. It's almost, and with that vanilla character, I failed to mention this earlier, but it almost gives me like a watermelon sorbet character. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a melted down watermelon sorbet. Anyway, 4.5 out of 5, connect the dots, Finback and Zagovor. Tasty fucking beer. Appreciate you guys stopping by for another review. And until the next one, cheers.